Hello my lovelies, today we are talking winter wardrobe essentials. I thought we could talk about the staples that are needed for a classic winter wardrobe. For me personally, I find winter is the season where I the most often tend to get into a little bit of a style funk. I have a lot of fun in the beginning, but especially as the months kind of drag on, it just gets to be a little bit repetitive. It's a little bit challenging getting dressed for the cold weather, trying to stay warm and actually enjoy my outfit at the same time. So if I focus on getting a few high quality staples, basics that can kind of carry me through the entire season, it's just so much easier to get dressed rather than trying to be inspired or jump on every winter trend every single year. I'm gonna start this list with what I feel is probably the most obvious but also the most important part of a winter wardrobe, and that is the winter coat. Especially if you live in a cold climate, this is so key. It's not just for style, you need something to keep you warm, and especially in my wardrobe this is definitely among the more expensive pieces that I have. So it's really worth kind of thinking through and really figuring out what you want and not just kind of impulse buy something. I really enjoy the maxi length if you feel a bit more comfortable with something a little bit shorter. I still think something that reaches your knee or below is a really good length because it's adding more warmth and like protection against wind and things like that. And I also always try on my winter coats with a few of my like thicker, chunkier knit jumpers. It just really has to fit over the layers that I typically wear. I have a few coats that I'm gonna show you. I've shown this a lot. This is a wool blend coat that I bought from H&M last year. The fabric is very thick. It's actually pretty warm, but it's not 100% wool. This is 70% wool, which is still pretty warm. I try not to go below 80% wool. I want to really highlight a new coat, and that is this coat from And Other Stories. This is 100% wool, which is not the easiest to find on the high street. I think it could have been like 270 euros, 300 euros, around there. So I just find that this is such good value for the price, and I really enjoy the quality of this. It just drapes beautifully, and I really think this is worth looking into if you're looking for a new winter coat. I really love that they did this in so many different shades of neutrals. I thought that was really cool, so they didn't settle for just a black and a grey and that's it. I wanted to show you one more coat to kind of make the point that it's sometimes worth having several different winter coats. I think it's still worth prioritizing one really high quality good coat every season. I really like having a few to switch between, especially up here in Scandinavia. The winter is just so long, and having a few different coats to kind of switch between is just making me a little bit more inspired to get dressed. Obviously I take the coat off when I go inside, but I often just feel like my entire outfit is hid by a coat anyways, so I really enjoy having a few. I think it was half the price of the And Other Stories one. This is only 50% wool though. For me this would be a perfect like late fall coat, but it's also so roomy that I get a lot of my layers underneath, so it still works. The next thing I think is an absolute essential for a winter wardrobe is a large scarf, and what I really love is that I can wear them with my outerwear, and then when I get somewhere like to the office or even like someone's house that might be a little bit too cool for my taste, I can kind of like drape it over my shoulder. It's like a mini portable blanket, or a shawl is probably the more sophisticated way of saying that, but I think they are fantastic. Both of these are wool. I bought this one from And Other Stories. I really do think that a scarf is the perfect place to either add in some print or color or both, and I also added this Jacquemus scarf. Although it's a very large logo, when I wear this scarf it kind of just looks like it has some sort of geometric print to it. Next, this is another obvious one, but neutral knitwear. Obviously you can keep colorful knitwear as well if you prefer that, but I think the neutrals are so key in getting the most cost per wear out of an item. I am pretty sure I had these two exact pieces in my full wardrobe as well. Both of these wool jumpers are fantastic, and I have pretty much been living in this one for the past few weeks. Both of these are from Arket. They are 100% wool. I'm not sure they do these exact jumpers anymore, but they do knitwear really well. 100% wool, you don't have to launder as often. I don't take these to the dry cleaners or anything. I just pop them on a wool program. You can actually hang them to kind of air dry and it will kind of self-clean to a certain point. I do obviously also clean them in the washing machine, but it gets rid of odor, and it's a fantastic way to kind of get more wear out of your jumpers. Whereas if it has even just a 20% polyester content, I can't do that. It will hang on to odor and I have to launder them much more often, and I find that they don't last quite as long. So I do really think that 100% wool is so worth the investment. The next piece that is an essential for my winter wardrobe is a pair of tailored trousers. I think I include a version of a pair of tailored trousers in pretty much all of my seasonal wardrobes, but for winter I really add something in a heavier fabric. For me, the kind of most luxurious fabric is something like a brushed wool, and it's adding warmth and it just has that like perfect texture for winter as well. What I will say when it comes to wool trousers, do try them on, because sometimes when you touch them they can feel fine, but when you put them on they feel so itchy. Even if you're not going for a 100% wool pair of trousers, I think just a pair of tailored trousers, something that is elevated but in a heavier fabric, is something that is so versatile and useful for winter. I really enjoy something that is a little bit wider if I need to fit my thermal underwear underneath. Another essential for me for winter is actually a light layer long sleeve top. Even though these are not the warmest, they are crucial for me for winter. I try to get them in merino wool like these two are, because it's giving a lot of warmth while still being thin. Merino tends to be a lot softer and much easier to have against the skin. I really enjoy wearing these even just on their own, because when they are merino I can actually sometimes get away with that even during winter, but they also are fantastic to have underneath my chunky knitwear jumpers. I especially love it when I sometimes need to take off these when I'm going inside. There's nothing worse than being fine and comfortable outside and then you walk into somebody's house and you're like, can I please undress? I am so warm, I'm just sweating through everything. And I'm always so relieved whenever I have a light layer underneath. Let's talk about footwear, because that is definitely an area I always have to kind of update for winter. Obviously, for me, it's mostly boots. Other shoes don't really tend to play well with a lot of snow. And knee-high boots are definitely essential for my winter wardrobe, because how awful is it to step outside and you got a lot of snow throughout the night and the snow is just coming down into your sock because you decided to wear ankle boots. Not ideal. I have a black pair and a brown pair, and honestly, whenever I have to wear this kind of shoe, it's not ideal to wear a heel anyways, but I do think that this would also look good with a heel. They're obviously great for like skinny or straight leg jeans and things like skirts where I wear tights on underneath, but also my longer dresses, and I have even worn these underneath my wide-legged trousers because they sit so close to the leg. I can get away with it. It doesn't look too weird. I thought it would, but it looks okay actually. But I also like to wear ankle boots whenever I can. Having a flat ankle boot is great. These I think are 5 or 6 years old. They have lasted me so long. The pointed toe is something that I definitely prefer, and you can see for the knee-high shoes they both have a rounded toe, so I try to kind of have options when it comes to the shape of the toe box. And I also try to get a little bit of heel wearing in during the winter time whenever I can, when it's not too icy. And you can see I have this ankle boot that has a very sensible heel height. It's not a lot, but it's very easy to walk in, especially for longer days. Another essential is definitely the faux fur jacket. If you saw my most recent haul, you will have seen me kind of gush about this, but this is the mango faux fur jacket. Because it is a little bit on the thicker side, as you can see, even though this is not wool, it's kind of adding a chunkier layer. So I have been surprised by my faux fur jackets by how warm they are, considering they are not wool. Faux fur jackets are just the most perfect and easiest way to glam up winter outfits, and I always just it's just a different feeling whenever I wear them. It just makes me feel some type of way and I love it and it's great. I definitely wouldn't consider my winter wardrobe complete without one. Another staple for me is a pair of jeans. It's really versatile. You can dress it up or down. I personally like something that is fairly classic, so I typically go for high waist, something in a fairly straight leg, nothing too wide or too kind of overly styled. These are just really easy to style with. Most of the other things in my wardrobe, I can style it with a silk top for going out, or all of my knitwear for something more casual. I also opted for something that is a little bit more neutral. Obviously a pair of blue denim jeans are also a classic. You can't go wrong with it. I think for winter I just really prefer something a little bit darker. I am starting to realize that pretty much all of my seasonal essentials include a knit dress in some shape or form, and winter is no exception. Winter is definitely the time where I kind of reserve extra space in my wardrobe for a maxi length knit dress. You can obviously get away with a shorter length. It's really cute. You can pair it with a pair of tights and it looks great, but I really kind of get the most out of my really long knit dresses. They are ridiculously easy to style because you put it on and you're dressed. You can just add whatever accessories you want and it's just such an easy thing to put on when I don't really know what to wear in the morning. And I can also have my thermal underwear underneath and a pair of tights for extra warmth. It goes great with my knee-high boots. It just, you can add so many layers underneath this and it just still looks so sleek because the dress is the piece that people will actually see. I'm pretty sure I included this in my fall essentials. Both of these are 100% wool. They're both from And Other Stories. I really prefer to look for quite simple classic silhouettes that look just as relevant in a few years, nothing too trendy. And then I just look for details that elevate the piece. Like I really enjoy the fringe at the bottom here, and even though fringe can be very trendy, it's so small that it's not kind of like the main focus of this dress. Okay, we're almost at the end, but this essential right here absolutely changed how I view dressing for the winter time, and that is a puffer coat or jacket. This is a maxi version. It's super long, and yes, I have gotten comments that it looks like I am stepping out in my bathrobe. It's fine, I'm okay with it. Some days the only thing that will actually keep you warm is a puffer jacket. I have had a lot of them throughout the years, but because it's not a piece that I typically gravitate towards or something I actually find really stylish or fun to wear, I would just have something that I didn't really enjoy. But getting a puffer jacket that I actually kind of at least remotely liked the look of changed everything. And I do have a few now. I have a crop version, like a mid-length, and I also have this like super long one. I also have styling videos for these. I think at least the two other ones, I'll link it. I stay warm and I still like my outfit, and I don't have to kind of be resigned to just wearing something I hate just for the sake of warmth. And I think that kind of goes for the entire winter dressing for winter in general. Just really focus on things that can be functional and practical and keep you warm while still letting you enjoy getting dressed in the morning and actually like your outfit. Thermal underwear is absolutely the key for me to be able to wear more of like my normal clothes throughout winter. It just lets me have thinner layers. I just have more options in general for what I can wear as long as I have that light layer of thermal underwear underneath. So I do wear a lot of my fall clothes and fall staples throughout winter. I have a few of these in different colors and different necklines. I also have some without sleeves. I also have leggings in this kind of material, and they are merino wool. I don't really bother wearing anything else, but if it's not super cool, you can definitely just buy cotton and that's going to work great for you. And I also have to mention my very unsightly tights. I've talked about these before as well. They've become quite popular in recent years, but these are fleece lined leggings. They are super soft. These are so warm, and I have worn these underneath trousers as well. I have worn mini skirts in like -10°C and I am fine. It's wild because they just keep me so warm, and obviously they don't look great on their own like this, so I would put on even like just regular black tights over this to get something that looks a lot more natural. And I also have a pair that kind of is supposed to look like just those regular black tights. If you have not tried them yet, definitely give it a try. If you live somewhere cold, it absolutely changes the fashion game for winter. Just starting with the pieces that will truly last, both in terms of how trendy they are and the quality, is going to give you so much more enjoyment from all of the other pieces that you do add to your wardrobe. I hope this was helpful. Do let me know if there are some other essentials that you add to your wardrobe, so we can all help each other out and have fun dressing for winter. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are enjoying winter so far, and I will see you very shortly in the next video. Bye!